Why Donald Trump has been blocked from GOP primary ballot in Colorado and Maine. Donald Trump, the former president of the United States, was first denied the right to seek for re-election in Colorado by the Supreme Court of the state. After that, the Democratic Secretary of State for Maine made an identical decision blocking Trump. It will now be interesting to see what will happen next. These choices are significant historical ones. The Colorado court became the first to apply a seldom-used constitutional prohibition against anybody who engaged in insurrection to a presidential contender. The first high-ranking election official to remove a candidate from the presidential ballot under that provision unilaterally is Maine's Secretary of State. However, both decisions are pending until the conclusion of judicial proceedings. This implies that Trump is still on the ballot in Maine and Colorado, and that the United States Supreme Court will now decide his political future. On its own, the Maine verdict is unlikely to have any impact. Its main effect is to put more pressure on the highest court in the country to rule unequivocally. Can Trump run for the presidential campaign again following the attack on the US Capitol building on January 6, 2021? What kind of legal issue is there which denied Trump the right to seek re-election? The United States ratified the 14th Amendment to provide rights to former slaves and others after the Civil War. Section 3, a two-sentence phrase, was also written in order to prevent former Confederates from reclaiming control of the government after the war. The provision reads as, "No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress, or elector of president and vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state, who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States, or as a member of any state legislature, or as an executive or judicial officer of any state, to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to enemies thereof. But Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability." So how did Trump get into all of this? Although there are ongoing legal proceedings against Trump for his attempt to avert his 2020 loss, which concluded on January 6th, Section 3 is not dependent on a criminal conviction. Several lawsuits have also been filed against Donald Trump on the grounds that he participated in an uprising on January 6th and is so ineligible to run for presidential office. So now we can come to the core arguments of the case. Trump's attorneys have refuted the effort to disqualify him from the office on a number of grounds. First, it's unclear whether Section 3 refers to the president. The office was named in an early copy, but was removed. And they argue that other places in the Constitution where it refers to an officer of the United States does not include the president. Secondly, even if it does pertain to the office of the president, they contend that voters, not judges who are not chosen, should have the final say in this political matter. The lawyers of Trump also claim that if courts decide to become involved, they are going against Trump's right to a fair trial by categorically declaring him ineligible in the absence of a thorough fact-finding procedure, similar to a drawn-out criminal prosecution. They are also contending that January 6 was more akin to a riot than an insurrection as defined by Section 3. And they are also arguing that even if there was an uprising, Trump was not a part of it and he was only using his right to free speech. Apparently, the attorneys attempting to disqualify Trump have their own defenses. The first one is that the evidence is actually rather straightforward. Trump is ineligible because he incited the rebellion on January 6th, which constituted an offense. So in all of this, the decision of Supreme Court would be an important one. As Section 3 has never been ruled by Supreme Court, this is probably going to happen when the Supreme Court comes to reviewing appeals of the Colorado ruling. The state's Republican Party has already filed one, and Trump is anticipated to submit one soon. The ballot's decision has to be challenged higher up the legal system, beginning with the main trial court, before it may be appealed directly to the United States Supreme Court. So that was all for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, do like the video, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to get notifications of the latest videos. Thanks for watching.